What is up guys, Jarv here, back today jumping into Destiny 2. Now in today's video we're taking a look at some hidden secrets inside the Eliksni camp. There's some awesome stuff waiting to be found ahead of the end of the season. These include some data pads, a hidden Vex Portal, and even an Oracle. So if you want to find out more, be sure to stick around and enjoy the video. If you do enjoy the video, be sure to leave a comment and rating down below, and remember to subscribe for more Destiny 2 content. But without further delay guys, let's jump into the video. Now before we jump into the meat of today's video, massive spoiler warnings ahead. Here we're looking at Datapad Locations, going outside the map, and also covering some unreleased quests. So if you don't want to find out anything that's about to happen in Season of the Splicer and some of the rewards that you could get as a result of those, then be sure to tune out and enjoy another video from the channel. If you're still here though, and are happy to see what's in store, let's jump into the video and look at these fallen secrets. Now to kick us off, we're going to look at some Datapad Locations. And here we have our Sparrow out, and we are in the Eliksni camp. Now the first data pad can be found in this little room, and they are behind some bars. Now at the moment these aren't scannable, but these could form part of a quest later on in the season. So it's important to note where they are, just in case they become relevant later down the line. There are 4 in total. That is the first one. We're going to be heading off onto the other side of the map here, and once again another data pad can be found behind some bars here on the left hand side. Once again, it's not currently scannable, but nevertheless it's worth noting its location. Now the final 2 can be found back towards the spawn on the right hand side. There's in fact 2 in here. Now one once again is behind some bars, but the 4th and final one is actually on this table in this little room here. Now interestingly enough, there is a door directly opposite this. Whether the pad has any relevance to that is not yet known, but those are the 4 datapad locations currently available in the Botsa ruins known as the Eliksni camp. Now as always guys, if you have any ideas on what these could be used for or what they're linked to, be sure to sound off down in the comments below. Now next up we're going to be going out of bounds. Now this can be done on any class, and we're going to be using a Sparrow breech in order to get under the map. Now by getting outside the map we get to see some interesting artifacts that are out in the distance. One of those being a Vex Portal and the other being an Oracle which we can destroy. Now here we are over in Botsa ruins. We need to make our way over to the far corner of this room in order to set a res point. Now to set a res point you need to be in the same location for around 20 seconds. You don't necessarily need to crouch up and down, but by setting a res point we're going to reload back into the instance, which will allow us to spawn our Sparrow. Massive shout out to JB3 who covered this glitch earlier in the season. I'll leave the link to his YouTube channel down in the video description below. Now with that res point set we can make our way outside. Now by quickly pulling out your ghost and firing your grenade launcher, you can in fact fire a single grenade. We need to use this to defeat ourselves and spawn back into the instance. Now upon respawning, you will have the option to now finally spawn your Sparrow. Now with this Sparrow, we're now perfectly positioned to perform a Sparrow breach. We need to make our way over to this hand side here, and by using these balls here, we can actually use them to push ourselves underneath the map. Now you will need to wedge your Sparrow underneath and perform a dodge to the left hand side whilst jumping off your Sparrow. It will take a few attempts, but if you do it successfully this will push you through the floor of the Eliksni camp. Now here we are outside. As I said earlier in the video, you can do this on any class as we are simply using a Sparrow breach to get into this location. Now we need to make our way to the other side of the arena, and to do this we're going to be working on top of all the assets from the Scourge of the Past raid. A lot of you will recognize this if you ran that raid from the encounter prior to the final boss. All these assets are still here. Whether they'll be used for anything later in the season remains to be seen, but there are many weeks left in Season of the Splicer, so anything can happen at this point. Now once we're on the far side we need to start dropping down. Now in order to get our abilities back we do in fact need to wipe, but first we need to get into the right location. Now the Vex Portal is directly underneath us, so we are almost there. So here is the area that we need to wipe. Now by wiping this will restore all our abilities. That includes our ability to use weapons, our actual class abilities, and also our super. Now for the next step you will most definitely need a sword. Lament is the preferred option as this creates excellent momentum when you are flying through arenas. Now upon spawning, as you can see, we have all our abilities back. Now we're going to be jumping underneath the map as we need to fly to the other side. I'm using Middle Tree Thunder Crash here, and I'm using Catapult Lift as a way of Titan flying with Lion Rampant, so it makes it very easy to get to the other side of the map. Now here we're going to drop down I'm going to fly over to the other side. Now once here, we're going to need to get onto this section on the upper right hand side, and we're going to be using the catapult lift as a way of getting ourselves up there. Now once we reach this position, we are almost at the Vex Portal, and we need to make our way around the right hand side here, and the Vex Portal is almost directly below us. By being in this position though, we are able to look at it directly and therefore see the oracle that is positioned directly inside. Now in terms of what this Vex Portal could be used for, it seems to be forming part of the As Prophesied quest. This seems to be the final quest within the Path of the Splicer story, and it's where we have to defend the last city from a Vex incursion. And the Vex incursion will take place in the last city, and this can be seen from a screenshot released as part of the press kit. And as you can see, we have Vex here in the last city, for which we'll have to defend alongside the Fallen. Now it's likely that this quest will be how we obtain the Forbidden Memory Fallen ship. This is an exotic ship that forms part of the Heroes Memorial quest. This seems to link up with the completion of successfully defending the last city against the Vex incursion, and therefore confirming our victory over Quiria and the Vex. As a thank you from both the Vanguard and the House of Light, this would be how we obtain the Forbidden Memory ship. Now to get this, you'll need to visit the memorial at the tower to pay your respects, which links us nicely into the Solstice of Heroes. Now as for the Vex Portal itself, it does contain an oracle. You can in fact destroy this. The best way to do that is to use a pulse or vortex grenade, and the tick damage from the grenade is enough to take out the oracle. It's likely we'll need to defeat the oracle later on in the season, as by defeating the oracle right now doesn't trigger any events. But as always guys, be sure to sound off with your thoughts and theories down in the comment section below. So there we have it guys, a quick look at some of the secrets hidden inside the Eliksni camp. If you've enjoyed this video, be sure to check out one of the 2 videos you see here in these cards for further Destiny 2 content. I'm going to jump back into the game as always guys, and I will catch you all again very soon.